Good day everyone, I'm Maris Potenciano, second year B.Ed Class 2. And for today, I'm going to tackle the lesson 15, which is the transfer of learning. So, transfer of learning plays a very important role in our day-to-day life. It is rare that the situation in which we learn is identical to the situation in which we apply and use that learning. So, education is preparation of life. Whatever we learn in the school, we are expected to apply the same in life. So, teachers wants their student to apply the knowledge and skills they learn in a class to other situations. So, kapag ang isang bata na-recognize niya na ang activity na pinapagawa ng teacher nila ay parang kapareho to what he has experienced before, his tendency is to use knowledge and skills he has learned to new situation. Kumbaga, ang mga natutunan niya sa mga previous lesson nila is i-apply niya sa bagong situation at ito yung tinatawag na transfer of learning. Transfer of learning happens when the learning in one context or with one set of materials affect performance in another context or with other related materials. Simply put, it is applying to another situation what was previously learned. So, sabi ko nga kanina, ito yung paggamit natin ng mga previous knowledge and skills na natutunan natin para sa bagong situation. Kumbaga, ginagamit natin ang mga natutunan natin dati para ma-accomplish ang panibagong task. For example, learning to use roller skates later help a person to learn more quickly to ice skate. Another example, learning to get along with classmates in preschool helps the child adjust and relate well with classmates in the big school. Transfer is a very significant concept in education and learning theory because most of those concerned in education aim to achieve transfer. Frequently, the circumstance of learning in classroom, workbook, test, and drill differ significant from the situation when what is learned is to be applied in the home, on the job, within complex tasks. So, as a result, the education goals are not met until transfer occurs. So, this make transfers a very important aspect of instruction. It may be true that in most cases, the goal of transfer of learning from classroom to real life situation is not achieved. So, it is vital that as a future teacher, we have a clear understanding of how best to teach our learners so that transfer of learning is facilitated. After all, what good is there in providing your learners with tons of knowledge and multitude of skills if they cannot apply them when they need? Now, let's move to types of transfer. Okay, the first one is positive transfer. So, positive transfer occurs when learning in one context improve performance in some other context. So, nangyayari ang positive transfer kapag ang pag-aaral sa isang sitwasyon ay nakatutulong upang mapadali sa pag-aaral sa iba pang sitwasyon. Kumbaga, sa tulong ng pag-aaral ng isang lesson, mas magiging madali para sa mga bata na pag-aralan pa ang ibang leksyon. So, for example, a speaker of Spanish would find it easier to learn Mexican language than Japanese. Okay? The next type of transfer is negative transfer. So, negative transfer occurs when learning in one context impact negatively on performance in another. So, nangyayari naman ito kapag ang pag-aaral sa isang konsepto is negatibong nakakaapekto sa performance sa iba pang konsepto. Kumbaga, kapag ang pag-aaral ng isang gawain ay nagpapahirap sa pag-aaral ng iba pang konsepto. So, for example, learning commonly assimilate a new language phonetics to crude approximation in their native tongue and use word order carried over their native tongue. So, example, there may be a tendency for a Visayan speaker child to frequently interchange the letter E and I sounds when speaking in English. So, with experience, however, learners correct the effect of negative transfer. So, the next types of transfer of learning is near transfer. So, when we say near transfer, it refers to transfer between similar contexts. So, this is also referred to as specific transfer. So, for example, when a student answer type of algebra word problem in an exam which are similar to what they had in their seat works, or when a student is learning to use a new cell phone that is somehow similar to the one she has before. So, the next is far transfer. So, when we say far transfer, it refers to the transfer between contexts that on an appearance seems remote and alien to one another. So, from the word itself, far, which means malayo or walang connect, pero nagagamit pa rin siya sa improvement ng ibang konsepto. So, it also called general transfer. So, for example, Stephen Covey applied the lessons of the Aesop's fable of the ghost lays the golden eggs to managing corporation. So, he said we should take care of the ghost rather than kill it. So, to be successful in business, we should take care of our workers, not burden them. So next, we proceed to conditions and principles of transfer. So these principles are based on the factor that affect transfer of learning. So these factors are similar to what Perkins term as condition of transfer. So these are the conditions or factors affecting transfer of learning. First is the similarity between two learning situations. So, the principle of learning, the more similar the two situations are, the greater the chances that learning from one situation will be transferred to another situation. Kumbaga, kung mas magkatulad ang dalawang sitwasyon, mas malaki ang pagkakataon na ang pag-aaral mula sa isang sitwasyon ay maililipat sa kabilang sitwasyon. So, the implication involve students in learning situation and tasks that are similar as possible to the situation where they would apply the task. So, dito is dapat daw isangkot yung mga bata sa mga activities na kung saan halos kapareho ng situation, kung saan pwede nilang ma-apply yung mga natutunan nila sa previous activity nila. So, the next condition or factors affecting transfer of learning is the degree of meaningfulness and relevance of learning. So, the principle of transfer, meaning learning leads to greater transfer than rote learning. So, mas malaki ang tsansa na ng pagkakaroon ng transfer of learning kapag makabuluhan ang pinag-aaralan ng isang bata. So the implication, remember to provide opportunities for learners to link new materials to what they learned in the past. So dapat dito is mag-provide ng opportunities para may apply ng mga bata ang pag natutunan nila previously sa bagong pag-aaral. Next is length of instructional time. So, principle of transfer, the longer the time is spent in instruction, the greater the probability of transfer. Kumbaga, kung mas mahaba ang oras sa pagtuturo, mas matututo ang mga bata at mas malaki ang tsansa na ang mga natutunan nila sa oras na iyon ay magamit nila sa susunod pang pag-aaral. So, implication, to ensure transfer, teach a few topics in depth rather than many topics tackled in a shallow manner. So, dito is kailangan na yung ituturo mo sa mga bata kahit konti lang is malalim kaysa naman doon sa mababaw or parang wala rin kabuluhan. Next is the variety of learning experiences. So, exposure to many and varied examples and opportunities for practice encourage transfer. So, kapag marami example, malaki ang tsansa na nauunawaan ng maayos ng mga bata ang kanilang pinag-aaralan. So, implication, illustrate new concepts and principles with a variety of example, plan activities that allow your learners to practice their newly learned skills. Okay. The next is the context for learners' experiences. So, transfer of learning is most likely to happen when learners discover that they learn is applicable to various contexts. Implication, relate a topic in one subject to topics in other subjects or discipline. Relate it also to real life situation. Next is focus on principles rather than tasks. So, principle transfers easier the fact. So, zero in on principles related to each topic together with strategies based on those principles. Last is emphasis on metacognition. Student reflects improved transfer of learning. So, kapag ang students ay marunong mag-reflect sa kanyang mga natutunan, mas malaki ang tsansa na ma-improve ang kanilang or ma-improve ang transfer of learning. So, encourage students to take responsibility for their own learning and reflect on what they learn. So, dito is encourage mo yung mga estudyante mo na maging responsable sa kanilang or mag-reflect sa kanilang mga natutunan sa mga lessons na itinuturo sa kanila. So, my reflection as a future teachers, we have to remember that learning and transfer occur all through our lives. So, helping our future students use previous lessons to help them in a new situation while end up helping them through adulthood.